Hello and welcome, my Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need shadow read for this full moon in October, waning to new moon in November 2021? I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, now available on Kindle, link in the description box. The Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, you can just call me Mal. Hey, my aqualungs, my aquariums, my 11th housers, I hope you are well. But it's time for the shadow work reads. So if you're new to the channel, 7-card draw is just one card from 7 different decks to get you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. In this case, we are looking at a waning moon from the full moon, excuse me, in Aries, but technically it goes void of course at the same time. It's an astrological thing on Wednesday, October 20th, 10:57 a.m. Eastern. I'm in New York, and then we're looking at the waning moon from full to new. Boop, 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 boop. Right? Going to shrink itself down to the new moon in Scorpio on Thursday, November 4th, 5:15 p.m. So it's a what do I need read as well. What do I need to be aware of that I need to let go? You probably already know what needs to be let go of, but to get you clues, tips, and hints about how to do that in the best way possible. It is a general read, so please take what parts of it resonate and leave what doesn't, and check your other signs to get more information about this particular timeline we are going to be looking at in a particular subject matter in your life, but there might be other timelines, right? No, just the one this time around, right? We're all healing so much so quickly, but we don't always see it. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can. All the decks that I read are always linked in the bottom of the description box, along with links for my book, Words of Grace, and a lovely, fun little video I made about 13 minutes called Booking a Reading with Mal. Should you care to book a reading with me? I guess that's about it. Enough explanation. Let's get on with it. Please, take a nice deep breath. From expository to divinatory, here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters in the general assembly, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the spirit animals and totems, as well as the pantheon of all pantheons. Please, using the Caroline Myss archetype deck, what is the dominant 8th chakra dynamic indicating the soul power being alchemized from lead to gold, the lesson being learned from toxic to healthy, the healing, the shadow work in the 8th chakra affecting everything else underneath it, over the head, everything else underneath it. For the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, this full to new. Uh-oh, it's already in the title. Whoa. You've got the Prostitute archetype. Now, don't freak. Read Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss. This is her deck. Such a transformational work. It's one of the 4 survival family archetypes. There are 4 families, but the survival family, everybody has the 4 survival archetypes: the child, the victim, victor, the saboteur, empower, and the prostitute. They're all neutral. It's a scale of lead to gold, shadow to light. So everybody has, even nations, corporations, everybody has a prostitute archetype. The shadow is what you either don't want to see within yourself. Oh, mailman's here. Cute ponytailed mailman. Sorry. Or if you do know about it, you certainly don't want anybody else to know about it. The light is what's available, the lead to gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table, so it is about releasing a waning moon. Those 3 atoms, the shadow attribute, places material consideration and security above self-empowerment, right? You have a price. Well, I was going to follow my dream, but as long as this thing keeps happening, I'll give up my dream because it's easier. but it's not. The light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Now look, I have dated a boatload of Aquarians, all sun signs. I don't always know their whole chart because they don't even know what time they're born. Muggles. But you know, the freaks of the zodiac, I will say that. I've been asked to do some pretty crazy stuff by some Aquarians along the way. So, you know, you are more likely to rebel in that way. Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. I'm going to try and not make the joke this time. So, you know, I know a lot of Aquarians who would rather, you know, die than compromise their spirit, their vision, their way of doing things, right? So let's see what this is about. Under the 8th chakra, of course, is the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat, and the heart. The interior world, the world behind your eyes, spiritual, mental, will, and emotional power, which is really where the majority of the shadow work goes down. Please take a nice deep breath. All right, my gray-eyed one. Please, my goddesses of air, the sign of Aquarius, and the powers of the East. Please, one card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Ooh, watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on in the world behind the eyes? The heart, throat, third eye, crown, the real terrain, because they have to make the throat chakra choice to do the shadow work. So what's going on there for the Aquarian alchemizing this prostitute, this full to new? Ooh, good. Don't freak. The 10 of blades is the 10 of swords, but as you can see, maybe you can't, maybe I get a little bit closer there. It's very different than what you see in the traditional tarot, right? 10 swords in the back, Rider-Waite deck, Pamela Coleman Smith. But this is the Native American ceremony of the rattle. It's a tribal gathering. It's the talking stick. And in the 90s, the talking stick was a big thing, but it ended up becoming a parody, which is a shame, because the ability to pass the talking stick around so that everybody gets heard. You can only talk if you have the talking stick, or in this case, the rattle. And then you pass it on to the next person until it goes all the way around the circle. So everybody gets to speak and everybody gets heard. Because this is heart, throat, third eye, crown, this can even be about the different aspects of your personality, having a thought about this stuff. It is element of air, swords, blades here. This can also be about mental resolution, the finalizing the completion of the cycle of air starting at the ace. And it did feel good. Like, it felt that thing of, oh, it's not the judgment card, that revelation, right? This is a major arcana. This is minor arcana. But this is all the pieces, all the little gray cells, right? Like, all the little pieces of the puzzle come together. I've been binging Agatha Christie's Poirot on YouTube. There's a playlist with all of the episodes. Are you kidding me? I'm a mystic. Give me a good mystery as long as I don't have to literally be in it, which I am anyway. So let's look at the lower 3 chakras here. This is the physical world. The lower 3 chakras navigate the physical world. You from the outside looking in, you from the inside looking out. Usually it's both of those things. But this is where your relationships with the outside world are processed. Root chakra is groups, tribes, families, associations, right? Even your industry or the field in which you work is root chakra, even if you're self-employed. Right, if you're an artist, that's your tribe too. Second chakra, one-on-one dynamic. Think umbilical cord, your relationship to another person or another thing, as well as money, sex, and power is all in there. And solar plexus is your relationship to yourself, your honor code, your self-esteem as a verb, not a noun, and your gut, your survival intuition. Let's see what's going on. Breathe. Yeah, This feels good for a shadow read, guys. I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Aquarius and the powers of the East. Please, one card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video. Receiving this reading, what's going on in the lower three chakras dynamic here that they need to know about? Alchemizing this prostitute into light with the rattle, the 10 of blades on the inner. Like, there's some realizations going on here, at least mentally. What's going on lower three chakras? It finally happened. Second to last reading in the series, Two of Cups. I was wondering when this puppy was going to show up. Look, the Two of Cups is an emotional attraction, right? Two of Cups, we immediately put it into the romantic category, but it not always need be so. What I will say in the Mythic Tarot, this is the entire suit of cups, is about the myth of Eros, god of love, son of Aphrodite and Aries, and Psyche. Here in the two, she's of course bound to a rock, as you know what happens, going to be fed to some monster for some reason. He's supposed to go kill her, pricks himself on his own arrow of love, falls madly in love with her. Now if you look, she can't see what he looked like, right? She doesn't get to see what he looks like until the Five of Cups. So keep that in mind. When you are attracted to somebody, you may not be seeing all of who they are. So this could certainly be, I would call this a second chakra dynamic. If it's not a person, it's a thing. Second chakra is also addiction, patterning, you know, when you have an attachment to money, for example. Money, I think we're all addicted to money. But that vibe of it, there is some emotional back and forth here. And before we go right out and say it's a romantic thing, let's see what else hits the table. But it does feel good. Just don't get why that would come up in a shadow read. Let's see. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Let's see what the healing mantra is to help you with this chakric alchemy, with that prostitute archetype. And I think Aquarians do well with mantras in general, different than affirmations, because it's fixed air, focused thought. So yeah, it's a really good deck. I've had it since 2019. Really, really worth every cent. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the Ascended Masters, I'm going to say General Assembly, but I do feel like this is probably another person in their life, and it is a general read. It's going to play itself out in different ways. So please clarify. One card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the perfect healing mantra to help them with this alchemy from shadow to light with the prostitute? 10 of blades. They're definitely getting the whole picture there. And with the Two of Cups in the outer, this full to new. Illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. This is my clairvoyant mantra. I'm willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. Isn't that just that? This is very third eye. I'm not getting so much as crown chakra, but I'm getting it is very, very third eye. Let me read it from the bookie book. I think this was one of the first mantras I memorized in this. Opened right to it. Illuminating the truth. I'm willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. When the truth is illuminated, you are no longer willing to settle for opinions, but instead yearn for a direct reflection that can shift fear and apprehension into a higher frequency of acceptance. Now there's some alchemy, right? When we don't have all the information, the ego mind can run with it, right? Worst case scenarios and stuff like that. So that would make sense in a shadow read for sure, to see things clearly no matter what. In the illumination of truth, it doesn't matter how much life gets inconvenienced or disrupted. Instead, the recognition of fact versus falsehood allows you to move past the shattering of expectations to commune with a reality beyond the horizon of your ingrained ideas. In other words, that's a fixed air thing. The belief things can be like, well, that can't happen, or no, that has to happen. And expectations are the seeds of disappointment. So this could absolutely be in a relationship with somebody. Again, does not necessarily have to be romantic. But I definitely get that you've got the stuff to see this clearly, and hopefully from a higher perspective. The third eye, this is in my book, Words of Grace, learned it from Carolyn Mace though, that the third eye can see one of two things at any given time, truth or illusion, right? Because boy, can it get cloudy up in there. Up in here, Whispers of Love Oracle. The party turner, the party turner. Let's see, breathe. This does feel oddly yummy, though, as I call upon the higher selves of all involved, not just the Aquarian, all involved, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above. What is the whisper of love here? For the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemizing the prostitute archetype with the rattle on the inner. It seems like they've come to some kind of conclusion there in some kind of relationship, Two of Cups thing, illuminating the truth, being willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. What is the whisper of love? What is this about, please? Full to new. Love makes the difference. It's the Whispers of Love Oracle. It's not going to say key their car. Love makes the difference. Love can help heal past hurts. Now I see the shadow read aspect of this. And provides a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. I think this might very well be somebody who might have prostituted somebody. You don't think that's what you're doing at the time, but compromised your spirit in a relationship in some way, shape, or form. Again, it does not say romance specific here. But for you to see the truth, that perhaps this was just a soul lesson you had to go through, that if there is past hurt here, it would make sense with the shadow read, this could be an aspect of therapy, right? Tracing it back. Where does this pattern begin? Which is really old paradigm, but certainly helps the mind grasp, grok, if you like, a more complete picture here for you. And with that, illuminating the truth, remember that these are 10 blades, 10 swords of clarity of the element of air, seeing a more truthful picture, but understand you might have very many opinions, all of those different voices, about this. So it feels like that's going to be clarified, but your higher self is saying love is going to make the difference on this one. Like, you don't, I mean, if this was really something traumatic, sounds like, right? If it's really about letting go of that past pain, it could be about a parent, it could be about a family, or it could be about anything, then certainly you can get the altitude here to give yourself the love, the parts inside of you that are in pain. Matt Kahn's first book, Whatever Arises, Love That, is I don't know if it's a masterpiece, but it's a work of art. I love that book, and I refer to it rather often, because those voices that are in pain or want to burn down the village need more love, not less. But that doesn't mean you let them burn down the village or hurt yourself in the process or linger in that pain for very long, right? The only way out is through. Yikes, I can't believe I just said that to an Aquarian. Yeah, I mean, I have to feel your feelings on this one, but it will illuminate the truth, particularly if there were lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions involved in this Two of Cups thing. Only you know that, general read. Let's see, Divine Animals Oracle. Who are the totems and or spirit animals helping you with the shadow work? Please take a nice deep breath. From Stacy DeMarco's Divine Animal Oracles. Oh, one more breath. I call to the totem animals and spirit animals for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Who walks with them? Who flies with them? Who crawls with them? Who swims with them? With this shadow work, their guide, the magic that they lend, the medicine that they lend to the Aquarian, alchemizing this prostitute archetype, 10 of blades on the inner, 2 of cups on the outer, illuminating the truth, because love does make a difference, and that is a truth worth illuminating. So please, Who is their divine animal from the Divine Animal Oracle? Wise old owl. Wisdom. Just funny, because the goddess Athena to me is very much associated with, well, I'm wearing a Medusa ring, but she's the one who was responsible for Medusa. So. What was that? Isn't that Harry Potter spell? Petrificus, was that it? Dated a guy named Petrificus. He was a rock. He was an island. Let's see. Card number 4. I'm not reading the whole thing. Just the beginning verbal thumbnail and the magic part at the end. Please breathe. Owl. Card number 4. Wisdom. Open your eyes and see what is really there. Illuminating the truth much? Look for the whole truth, Ten of Blades, as you may only be seeing a part of the whole, WHOLE. Through experience, we can gain the wisdom to not make the same mistakes again. Develop your learning and intelligence, as education is never wasted. Negotiation is better than attack. And that's the thing about the owl. Now, I have students of mine over the years who have been bird watchers and earth science teachers and stuff like that. Owls can't really turn their head in 360 degrees. Just looks like they can. So as much as I always think of Aquarius fixed air as the stratosphere, like looking at it from the satellite point of view, this might be about getting that there's a lot more going on this way as well. I just think that's great with wisdom, because you will gain wisdom from everything you experience in life. But the alchemy from lead to gold is essential. The magic. The use of owl magic is an ancient practice. The energy is used in cultures as diverse as ancient Greek, Roman, to Northern European, and First Nations of the Americas. Use owl magic when you seek wisdom in a situation and perhaps are not seeing the whole truth. I mean, illuminating the truth. The mantra there, and wish to do so. Owl magic is helpful when you cannot make a decision or when you need to take a rational view of an emotionally charged situation. Man, doing the prayer and meditation before I turn on the camera really is the tea. It really brings the tea and serves the tea in this case, very, very clearly. Wow, I mean, you've got really 3 air cards here, right? Ten of Blades, illuminating the truth, willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. And the owl for wisdom. That's pretty right on the mark. Angelo, Lyons, Mel for short. Let's get your last card down. And I think this might be what you're looking for if you're at a certain level of evolution on your path. What is the hidden blessing from the Blessed Bee? The mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower by, I'm going to say it if you watch my channel, Lucy Cavendish. Girl, she's amazing. Going to read that from the bookie book too. Pantheon of Pantheons. Here we go. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the pantheon of all pantheons, all lineages, cultures, systems, even off-planet, because we're dealing with Aquarians here, the starseeds and all that. Please, one card in clarity for the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the hidden blessing that they will find here? Should they look for it through doing the shadow work? Alchemizing the prostitute, accentuating the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of their spirit. With that, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, Ten of Blades on the inner, and some sort of emotional relationship. Two of Cups, illuminating the truth, because they can be willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome, and love will make the difference, and that's up to them. That is their free will about love making the difference, but with the owl with them, helping them see a different picture. to glean wisdom from their experience, to see it differently from perhaps the soul's perspective, rather than the personality or the egos. So what is the hidden blessing for them, please, this full to new? A blessing on the waters. We have had all four, a blessing on air, fire, water, and earth in this series, and there aren't that many cards. There's a lot of cards in this deck. Card number 4. I'm going to read these full out because this is art here, and when I do, I really bring through the blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. All those years of practice as a high priest. Here we go. Pantheon of Pantheons. Transmit this blessing through me. Card number 4, a blessing of the waters. A blessing to bring in the powers of the waters to cleanse and purify, rebirth, and restore you. From the great bodies of water in this world we arose, we humans more water than flesh, shaped from bones of land and caressed into form by the movements of our liquid mother, the ocean. We arose and came to the earth by way of water. While we wait to be born into this new lifetime, we are nurtured from conception by the waters before we emerge from our mothers and meet the land and air. So it is to the water we turn when we must be reborn, when life stagnates, or when we fall into despair. We turn to the water to bless us and shape us and hold us up when we cannot walk, to give us a dream between the dreams, to bring back to life our emotions, and to wash clean the soul wearing its cloak of despair. We ask for the blessings of the waters on our psyches, so our soul self can be free of heaviness and learn to move as water does, through even the greatest blocks of stones in the river. We ask for the blessing of waters on our blood, so our inheritance comes to us untainted by the dark memories we sometimes dwell on. And we ask for the blessings of water to let us release what we are burdened with through the intelligent tears, freeing us from... Did I read that right? Right. To release us from what we are burdened with through the intelligence of tears, freeing us from pent-up stores of unfreed feelings. This is shadow work. We ask for the blessings of waters on our relationships, so that the water moves through and cleanses our friendships and families and lovers from the resentments that humans sometimes fall prey to. And we ask for the blessings of waters for ourselves, so that like water, we develop humility and know when to reshape our lives and flow into the best form for us now. May water smooth the sharp edges of your pain and give you ease in times when you are storm-swept and rain-dashed. May your intuition be fresh and flowing. May your feelings be clean and clear as water over river rocks in the wilderness. May your emotions be as powerful as the wave of the ocean, as deep as the sea. May you accept the mysteries of your own depths. May you never thirst, and always be blessed by water. Blessed be. This is a shadow read. Now, I gotta say, this might not be something that's going on in your life so very directly. This can be about somebody that is either no longer in your life or is. Maybe there were some lies, some things here. But honestly, whether or not it's romantic, it's a general read. This could just as easily be a family member or a coworker or a boss. But there is immense wisdom here for you, but the emotional part is key. Now, just in terms of basic earth science, air condensed is water. You know what I mean, right? Depends on the kind of air, I suppose, right? But H2O. So thoughts become emotions, but as we express our emotions, they sort of evaporate into thoughts, clearing that third eye, illuminating the truth if you're willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Really, the shadow work here for you, you're well on your way, but the emotional component here is key. Let me give you the final blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. Whoop, get over here. 2 of Cups tried to sneak off the table. Maybe that means something to some people here. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine to please bless the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading with all that they need to do this rather important, pertinent shadow work this full moon, to know that they call upon the power and the magic of the owl for the wisdom that they can see things differently and in a larger perspective, with the blessing of the waters, that their emotions help rebirth them, help release them, help clear them, so that they accentuate the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of their spirit, illuminating the truth, that they are willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome, and that love makes the difference, maybe even if just within their own energy field. Love can help heal past hurts and provide a sense of security, self-worth, and importance as they put together the pieces of the puzzle here, coming to some sort of mental resolution, illuminating the truth in a 2 of Cups relationship in some way, shape, or form. That as they do, they heal, they grow, they evolve, they see things from an ever higher perspective, from the soul's wisdom, from the higher self's POV, GPS POV. And as they heal, may we all be blessed by their healing, as another soul on this planet is reborn with the power of love, which makes a difference, with wisdom for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. A shadow read. You know, it's like they're not always the happiest things on earth, but I also don't get that horrible feeling on this as I have on some of the other reads I've done in this series. So, like, did you like it? Like it. Click like. It helps other Aquarians see it. That's just how the YouTube works. Feel like commenting? Do. Please tell me, what is this 2 of Cups about? I would love to know. Otherwise, I'm like talking to a camera with very little feedback. And certainly, if you want to book me for a reading, feel free to. And if you want more of me, subscribe, read my book, blah, 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 all that stuff. If you want to book me for a reading, though, do watch the video, Booking a Reading with Mal. I had fun making it. And I send it out to prospective clients when they ask, and they're like, oh, that was great. Now I know, let's book it. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon, October into November 2021. My beloved aqua lungs, hail, farewell, and blessed be.